What's up, party people? It's the last week out of 4 for the BC book haul. All right, we got a big stack today, as you saw in the thumbnail. So let's dive right in. Before we get going on it though, I just wanted to mention I didn't really do a lot of reading this week. I got started on G.K. Chesterton's The Everlasting Man, which is promising to be pretty good. And I also finished reading Henry Mackenzie's The Man of Feeling. I think I mentioned that last week. I'm sorry, didn't really like it that much. Yeah, wouldn't really recommend it, but I finished it, so not that that's a big accomplishment or anything, like it's pretty thin, but yeah, anyways, got that over with. So yeah, that's about it. I don't really know what to say about it. It's just like a bunch of snippets from this guy's life. It falls into a genre of sentimental literature from late 1700s, so like late 18th century. Yeah, so I think it's like meant for girls, like so to make you cry or something. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't really too riveted by it or anything. Yeah. Anyways, diving into the book haul stuff. The first up, we've got 2 13th century Scandinavian sagas. Okay, the first of that being the Saga of the Volsungs. All right, and then the second of that being Njál's Saga. I think I'm saying that right? The NJ, Njál. I'm not too sure. Anyways, Saga of the Volsungs. I'm not really too sure what's going on here. I think it's mostly like a history of the Volsung clan and how they kind of populate the area and probably get into some trouble. Apparently, it's a major influence on J.R.R. Tolkien for his Lord of the Rings. So that's pretty interesting. Anyways, I wonder if you'd read that back to back with Lord of the Rings, you could like draw a lot of parallels, or if it was more of like a less obvious inspiration. But yeah, then the Njál's Saga, this one's thicker. This one I think's got more happening in here. I think it's more popular. It's also 13th century, although it's describing stuff 300 years prior to that, so like 900 to 1000 AD. And yeah, it's about a 50-year blood feud between 2 families. So should have lots of action in it. I'm expecting this one to be a bit more similar to Beowulf than the previous one, the Volsungs, just because of the action. But it's not written in any sort of verse. It's prose. So unfortunately, that's yeah. So it won't exactly be like Beowulf, right? Beowulf is kind of unique in that sense, but yeah, same setting. The one thing I find with those Icelandic books is everyone's name looks the same. It starts with an S, and then has a few I's in it and a few G's. And then you just can't tell the characters apart. But anyways, next up we've got 4 H.G. Wells. Now my H.G. Wells stack is growing. I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 4. So that makes, whoa, lucky 13. If my math is right on that. Anyways, the first up we've got The War in the Air. So this one is pre-World War I. So I don't think that planes had played a major role in warfare prior to this, but H.G. Wells is kind of imagining a war situation in which aircraft play a large role. So he kind of is a bit of a herald in that sense. So this one's like medium length, maybe 200, 250 pages. Yeah, 250, so shouldn't be too long of a read. Unfortunately though, I don't know if you can see this on camera, there's something wrong with the spine there at the bottom. It's like crooked. I guess you can see the indent in there. I don't know, it feels weird. So, anyways, how much was it? How much did I pay for this? $5. Okay, not terrible. Next up, we've got, I'm excited to read this one, A Short History of the World. Okay, now, apparently, this is like from the beginning of time, or the beginning of humanity, anyways, and it goes all the way up to the current day. So he was writing, I don't know, 1920 something. And he just covers all that history, and he's supposed to be read like a novel, which is kind of a unique approach, right? Usually history isn't really written like in a novel form, and if it is, it's kind of like historical fiction, right? But this is completely non-fictional, and it's a novel, so yeah, super interested to read this. After that, we've got H.G. Wells's The Shape of Things to Come. Okay. Now, I recently read his A Story of the Things to Come. I think A Story of the Days to Come, okay. So not quite the same, but the titles are very similar. So I thought this is like a different printing, but it's way thicker, right? The other one was like a novella, like a short story. This one's thick, all right? As far as I understand, there's some sort of like economic slump or something that occurs, and it leaves Europe. Oh no, am I thinking of a different book? Shoot, now I can't remember. Anyways, I think this one, the plot is that there's like a big war and economic collapse, and there's Europe has returned to like these medieval conditions, and then the pilots and the technicians from the war kind of rebuild society. And obviously there's some political mischief going on, and yeah. Excited to read that one too. This one's definitely a bit thicker though. Like how many pages is this? Like 600? 500? Yeah, so that one looks good too. Very interesting binding. It's like, I don't know if you can hear that, it's kind of scratchy. And then the last H.G. Wells is A Modern Utopia. This one's very interesting. This guy's physiognomy on the front page is shocking, to say the least. His chin is so receded, it's insane. I don't know if that's supposed to be Wells or one of the characters from the book, but I hope it's not Wells, because I would not take kindly if someone portrayed me like that. But anyways, yeah, so apparently this book is about two guys in 20th century London who, like, I don't know if they get transported or if it's a dream or what it is, but they get to this other society where it's like it's a utopia, and they're kind of learning through their experiences of how the place is run. So obviously Wells is detailing through the book his view of like a utopian future. Yeah, so that should be interesting. It was only $3, so that's a good find. Although it does have some parts of the cover that were kind of torn off by stickers. But so always unfortunate when that happens, but yeah. Next up, we've got Chaucer's Troilus and Cresside. I think I'm saying that right. And it's in this like matte white Oxford Classics edition, so I like that. Of course, I read Chaucer's Canterbury Tales recently, which I quite enjoyed. Those were very good. So this is like a love story. It's his version. Okay, not the same thing, but I'm making the connection between Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet and this book. So, and then I think the man cheats on. Which one's the man? Troilus or Cresside? I think Troilus cheats with another lady, and then some sort of debauchery, and yeah, it's gonna be a good one. So, of course, many of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales were a bit bawdy themselves. So yeah, I'm sure this will be a fun read. Next up, we've got an anonymous text, also in the matte white Oxford Classic Edition, and that is the anonymous Lancelot of the Lake, which forms the basis for a lot of Arthurian legend, right? So dealing with themes of chivalry and heroism and things like that. So yeah, it talks about Lancelot and his love affair with Lady Guinevere, or I think that's how I'm saying it, Guinevere. Yeah, that should be spicy. Yeah, feudal England. What is there not to like? So this one, looking forward to reading that as well. I also have, how do you even say it here? I can't see like 2 feet in front of me without my glasses. Le Mot d'Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory. I wonder if I should read Lancelot of the Lake in conjunction with that, because they're, of course, both Arthurian legends. So that should be, yeah, looking forward to that. Oh, look at that. There's a nice little note on the inside of the front page that someone wrote. This was apparently a gift. It says, "To Nikita, an addition to your library. May your passion for great stories grow with time, wherever you go. Your contributions to the lives of everyone in Div 4 will be remembered for a long time. Mr. Welby." That's cool. Yeah, I like finding little things in books. Often I find like receipts or advertisements or bookmarks and things like that, or little notes. It's kind of fun to find. Next up, favorite sci-fi author of all time. Can you guess it? Philip Dick. Okay, I've been looking for this one for a while. Valis. I feel like it's hard to order online too. Like there's not a lot of copies. I found this at I forgot to mention this at the beginning. This stack of books was found in Calgary, so one of the ones I went to there, I think it's the biggest bookstore in Calgary, at least the biggest one I've been to, is Fair's Fair, and they've got, I don't even know how many volumes. It's a lot. It's a big warehouse. Anyways, Valis. This was Philip K. Dick's first installment in his trilogy that he'd made. I forget what the trilogy is called. I thought it was the Valis trilogy, but now I'm not so sure. Anyways, super sort of spiritual and metaphysical in nature, and so Philip Dick had an experience, what's the word? A mystical experience in his own life, where he was sent home after like a dental appointment, and his doctor was like, "Here, I'm going to give you these painkillers for your toothache," and some lady was sent to go get the pills for him, and as she comes to deliver the pills, she's wearing this like golden fish necklace, and the light shines off of it into his eyes, and he has like this, like, he's just hit with like this revelation, I guess, and this Gnostic experience. And so the book Valis is standing for vast, active, living intelligence system or something like that, and it's his version of the Gnostic god, and it's inspired by his experience looking at this golden fish necklace where he like kind of goes crazy. So that's super interesting. I do have the other two in the set. The second one being the Divine Invasion, and the third being originally it was supposed to be something about an owl, but then he died and didn't finish it. So then he had mentioned before that another book kind of filled the third spot, even though he didn't get to finish the real one, and that's the Transmigration of Timothy Archer. So that one is the third one in the installment. And I have read the Divine Invasion by accident already, the second book. I don't like to do that, reading things out of order. It's dumb. But I didn't realize it was part of a trilogy, and I read it a couple years ago. But I'll have to reread it when I do this trilogy, so it's in order. And I do remember liking it quite a bit, so there won't be any hesitation in rereading it. So yeah, cool beans. One more by Philip Dick, and that's the Simulacra. Okay, I don't really know too much about this one. I just bought it because I didn't have it, and I'm collecting Dick. I think I have probably 25 of his volumes already. Sorry, I keep burping. I had shawarma poutine for lunch. It's super fatty, blech, but also good. Yeah, this one, it's post World War III, so it's kind of far in the future. And there's this like matriarch lady that runs society, but she's actually an android or something. So just a bunch of motley characters working together to overthrow the government or something like that. I don't know. Pretty typical for Philip Dick books. I'm sure there's like a man in a suit and some hot lady that he ends up being with. So that's pretty common. And then there's some sort of android and yeah. Anyways, a lot of his books I can like find similar themes, but they're all always good. So really cannot complain too much. Oh, also I forgot to mention that the Philip Dick's like persona in Valis is a guy named Horse Lover Fat, and I just thought that was hilarious, and I should mention that. But lastly, we've got some young adult fiction, or I don't know, it's so basic that it might even be elementary age, and that is some Brandon Mull. Now, I enjoyed a good Brandon Mull book back in my elementary days, so I'm excited to reread these to my kids one day and kind of relive the experience. So I am happy to finally finish off my Beyonders trilogy. So we've got the last one in the set here, Chasing the Prophecy. The basis of these books is that there's an alternate world, and there's like magic in this world and stuff, and there's different portals between the two worlds that appear for brief moments of time, and you can use them to transport yourself. And this one guy's working at a zoo, hears music, gets eaten by a hippo, and then wakes up in like this other world. And at some point as well, there's a girl that he meets there at the same age, and there's this love story adventure thing that goes on. It's good. So had some trouble finding the third book, but there we are. Very nice. And then the next one is not a trilogy. What do you call it when there's more books than a trilogy? There's a tetralogy, and then what's the one with 5? Quintology? Pentology? Something like that. Anyways, and that's Fablehaven. Okay, so I've got book 4 and 5 here, which also finishes off my set, because I have 1, 2, and 3 already on the shelf. Now, as a kid, I read the first couple. I don't think I ever finished the full Pentology, but yeah, I remember reading up into like a point where they're getting chased by a giant in like a car in the city or something like that. I don't really remember, but I remember it being good, and I liked Beyonders, so I'm bullish on Brandon Mull. The premise of this one is that there's like fairies and magic and stuff, but no one can see them, and then they're staying at their grandparents' house, and they drink this magic milk, and then they can see all the fairies and stuff, and yeah, so it's quite good. And I'll show you the covers of these. They're kind of cool covers as well. Like a maximalist colorful art style, which I like quite a bit. And then here's the 5th one here. So number 4 is Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary, and this one's Keys to the Demon Prison. Yeah, and these ones are thick too, but I think the print is big, so it shouldn't take too long to read. Like, number 5 is pretty thick here. But there is how many pages? Let's see. Does it even have page numbers on here? Oh, like 600 pages. And but the font is like pretty big. You can take a look here. Yeah, pretty big font. So yeah, these are like $5 each, so good deal on that. I always like to, I'll even spend like a bit extra money if it's needed to like finish off like a set of books. So yeah, happy to have those. And yeah, I'm just looking down at some other books I have down here for the future weeks. I got given a gift card for my birthday a couple weeks ago, and I don't really like to order new books. I prefer to buy used. They're cooler, they're cheaper, they're better all the way around. Like the covers are better, they're better bound usually. Anyways, I was forced to buy some new books with this Indigo gift card I got given for my birthday, which is good because I can't always find the books I want at the used bookstore. Sometimes I'm forced to order them new, or at least order them used from a website like on the internet. I like not finding them in person. But anyways, I got some good ones coming up, and then some other times I've been back to the bookstore. I've got a couple stacks here as well. So yeah, good things coming down the line. So stay tuned. Watch the next week's video or whatever. But yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you have a good week. Yeah, peace out.